Alright, hey guys, this is the other half of that video. This is the part that I'm excited about when things actually get done the way they're supposed to be done. Alright, so first we're going to start with the green screen. As you can see here, there are no wrinkles. Now there are a few spots. I've got a spot there, and a spot there. I know in the first video I talked to you guys about not putting your green screen in the washing machine, but doing it only in the dryer. The reason I warned you against this was because some green screens are not the same as others. Some are dyed with a lesser type of dye and they'll bleed. What I did wind up doing is putting it in the washing machine under warm wash and cool rinsing. I would go ahead and try that, but before you do that, take your green screen into your bathroom, take a corner of it, put it under water, make sure it doesn't bleed. Obviously be careful not to wash your green screen with bleach. You'd be surprised what happens on a film set. People in a hurry throwing a green screen in a wash or washing it, and they grab the bleach instead of something else. You shouldn't use anything anyway. It's my opinion. Then immediately take it out of the washing machine, put it in the dryer, and run it until the fabric is just damp. Not completely dry, okay? Just damp. Just damp enough to the touch. It shouldn't obviously be dripping wet, but just damp enough that when you hang it, you can let it hang and let the rest of it dry as it hangs, and a lot of those wrinkles and everything will come out. If you look behind me, you'll see there are no wrinkles in the green screen. I have a large green screen, so on the right hand side or left hand side for you guys, I've had to bunch a bunch of that fabric up and tighten that end. Also, when you place your green screen either against the wall or wherever you're going to put it, make sure you pull it tight, guys. Okay? You want to have no wrinkles in that screen whatsoever. Okay? Also, you'll note that I added 2 more lights to my green screen in the back because I just wasn't getting the right amount of light on my green screen. I also added a second key light. My lights are actually crossing right in front of me. I have enough light behind me that it's bouncing off my back, which made using a backfill light absolutely useless and unneeded. So I went ahead and got rid of that. You'll also notice that I don't have a bounce card. That's because I have now 2 key lights, and it makes the bounce card actually useless. So that's gone now too. I'm going to also frame up the shot for you because obviously you don't want to shoot yourself necessarily like this. You can, if you know how to crop properly, you can, but I would suggest actually just tightening in on your subject and framing yourself within the green screen so that there is nothing around the edges here. You make it much easier for you to have to edit it and not have to deal with a whole lot of post cutting and cropping and sizing and all that stuff. So set your camera where you want it. I'm going to cover a couple of things here in a minute about lenses and how to frame your shot. Alright, hey guys. Alright, so this is how I have my shot framed. This is probably also going to be the exact frame that I use for our presentation. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about framing and a little bit about lenses and a little bit about tightening up your shots. When you shoot, if you are using a camera that has a zoom lens or like a photo type of lens, which would be this type of lens right here, okay? And the reason they call it a zoom is obviously because it zooms in and out. When you set your camera up, you can use your zoom to bring your shot in close, and to set it right where you want it, you can use your zoom and then leave it alone, okay? However, once you've done that, then set your camera to manual, okay, and manually focus your subject in the frame. So for this video, my lens is actually that cinematic lens I talked about last month with Dr. Rio. That lens, that cinematic lens that I have on there only has a manual focus and an aperture ring, okay? So that's, you're looking at right now my cinematic lens. Before it was this lens right here. Okay, so when you set it up, if you have one, then turn your camera to manual and manually focus your subject. What that'll also do is it will blur out part of that background and it will even out the green color on behind you. This will make it really much better when you key out in post-production. When I say key out, I mean when you key out the green. Okay, you'll notice, where is it? Right here, there's a spot in my green screen. Okay, now that is probably going to cause a bit of artifacting that I'm going to have to go back and clean up in post. All right, for those of you that have never used Adobe Premiere Pro or are not really big on green screen, my suggestion to you is in Adobe Premiere Pro there is a effect called Ultra Key. You have keying, and then just below it there should be a folder called Ultra Keying. Use the Ultra Keying effect. This is a much easier effect and covers a much broader spectrum, so you don't have as much artifacting going on in the background, and is a much cleaner key. Okay, it also is really good for those of you that have never done green screen, and it will make for a much cleaner key for you. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so that is it that I can think of right now. I wish you all a happy and safe spring break. We'll see you next week. Enjoy your holiday.